Everyone has some sort of a closet that's become too small. A closet is no place to live, and I want to support as many people as I can in stepping out of that prison into the fullness of life that's waiting for them on the other side of that closet door. I'm Nancy Shadlock from Centered Life Coaching. Join me in listening to these coming out chronicles. Get curious about your story, and then see what good things are waiting for you on the other side of your closet door.
I can't wait for you to hear today's juicy podcast. It's a little bit different than normal, and it's really fun. And it gives you a little bit of a window into what like being in the hot seat with me in a coaching session is like, and the way that we bring fun and playfulness into it, but also like get down to the heart of, the challenges that keep us from stepping into our greatness. And so I hope that you're inspired today and that you track along with your own life and think about like, where are you feeling a block in your life or your business or your relationship, and what might be the new energy that you can bring there. Ashlee Livingstone, I'm so happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am, oh, that's such a loaded question, by the way. I'm from Canada.
Me too.
Are you?
Yeah,
I didn't
I'm in
know that.
Calgary.
Oh, I'm in Ontario. Don't hold that against me.
I know. I'm like, you're saying that like it's a problem. Right now, Alberta's the problem, I think.
Yeah, we all have problems. So yeah, I'm based in Ontario, and I am a mom. I started my own business when my son was born, and I love to create events and connection moments for my clients, really just bringing people together. And over COVID, that's been, a huge challenge, but one that I've had a lot of fun doing. And I just keep changing and growing. I love to hike. I love being outside. So, summer and fall are like my favorite seasons. And I just love to, yeah, explore and take life in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's maybe a bit of a coming out chapter brewing in your work life.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny because I definitely thought life was like this straight path. Um, when I was in university or even high school heading into university, that there was like this plan. And now as I approach 40, I've realized that that's crap. And we are on this like constant roller coaster. And every time you think you're comfortable in life, it's just going to throw you for another curve. So I think I'm in the midst of that scary curve. Like I'm climbing and I keep thinking I'm like super close, and I'm about to probably go for a good ride.
Yeah. So where have you felt stuck in it lately?
Probably imposter syndrome. I know that's like a bit of a like fad word and term right now, but anytime I think you take on something new. So I've been over COVID transitioning my business from purely just, and I say just events, because that's right now what everyone knows me as, is the person who creates really awesome fundraising experiences, corporate events, um, but more just events. Like I've kind of put myself in a box of doing that. And then when COVID hit, obviously all in-person events, it was a hard stop. And it actually gave me time to reflect on what parts of those events and what parts of my business I truly love, and where now I have permission to shift. So over the past couple of years, I have shifted a lot to virtual events, but more client appreciation, and bringing clients and teams together. Because I've really noticed, especially over COVID, people just got disconnected and they started working at home, or they were taking turns in the office. you couldn't take your clients out for lunch or drink anymore. It almost seemed to be like a hard stop, and it fell off the side of everyone's desks. But what we all needed more of was connection. So I've been really reshaping my event side of my business to do these types of events and bring people together. And now I think the next iteration is, coaching leaders to build the time in to do this on an ongoing basis, not when things are really bad and you're being reactive, to take a proactive approach to team building, client appreciation, and just leaders' role in how all of that gets shaped. Yeah, it's a big,
awesome.
it's a big bite, but it's I've just noticed in talking to so many people, so many of my clients over the course of the pandemic, of just how many people are actually like leaving their jobs now and their bosses don't know. And so many people are just up and leaving and going somewhere else because whether the grass is greener or they just want more flexibility, they just feel that they need to do something, feel in control. And it's leaving huge talent gaps and then client gaps. And it's a huge problem right now. And I want to help people fix it.
And what do you feel like an imposter about?
Probably in that I am always been known as the event person. And I very much want to ditch that idea and reshape it so that I am the culture creator or the I'm making impact in organizations or for charities, but I'm bringing people together and creating, I don't know, I want to create a better place for everyone to work and better communities for people to live in. So I'm stuck in probably my own head of ditching event planner and stepping into so much more.
What's the fear that comes up with it?
That it's going to be a hard sell. I think I'm afraid of failing at the sales side of things or not getting any attention unless it is event based. People just saying, I don't get it, right? Like, I don't understand why you're going from events to this completely different avenue. I see the connection between the two, but I'm not sure that so many other people do. So it's just that fear. The main person?
Yeah, that you don't think will get it.
I see what you're doing here.
You signed up for live coaching. Here we go.
I did, yeah.
Disclaimer. I have her permission to ask her the hard questions.
It is me, right? I know that deep down, I am just stuck in what if this fails? Like, what if this fails? What if I'm only good at doing events? What if nobody wants this from me because, I'm not doing events and that's all that I'm known for.
What if?
What if? I know. Well, I think that I know I'm capable of it. It's just that armor, right? Have you ever, I'm sure I'm not alone in that, creating the armor that protects you from, feeling embarrassed or feeling that failure or, having to keep working at something. You definitely over time build up, I call it my little army that I've created that keeps me safe from all of that. So it's like trying to constantly convince myself to fire them.
Yeah. I wish we could like pull the audience right now and ask them like, in what Ashlee explained that she wants to do you think it's a dumb idea? Like, do you think that no one is going to get this, that CEOs would want to be nurturing their relationship with their clients better? I'm pretty sure there would be a resounding, yeah, we get it. Like, it's so needed and important, especially right now.
Yeah. And I think that it's probably a bit of that, just really needing to step into it. And that's why I wanted to do, this podcast as well and chat with you, of just figuring out how to put myself in really scary situations, like not dangerous situations, but uncomfortable situations, so that I have that ability to rebound from it or be resilient and keep kind of pushing forward. Because I do think, like, in my core, it is a good idea and people absolutely need this. And for any leader who says, nah, I don't need to connect with my clients, or who cares about my team, I'll find more, right? Everyone's replaceable. Those leaders are not the leaders that I want to talk to, because they're not going to be here for very long. I really want to find the leaders who say, I want to connect with my team and I get that I need to pay attention to my clients, but I don't know where to start and I don't have time. Because I feel like with those leaders, they get the importance. They just need some help to get there.
How would you help them?
So I think one of the nice things about my event management background and coming at it from a fundraising perspective, there's like all of those skills that I have that cross over. So time management, right? Everyone knows event managers have amazing time management, like down to the minute sometimes. And that's actually how I manage my calendar. I am a huge believer in time blocking and making sure that you know how long tasks take versus just writing a giant to-do list. Because every time we write to-do lists, we cross something off, but something else gets added to the bottom, or you just move it to the next day or the next day, and you don't actually know how long something's going to take you. So projects that might take you 10 minutes, you whip through, but then other projects that end up taking an hour or half a day, or you're never crossing them off your list. So then leaders tend to get kind of stuck in this overwhelm. And I also think helping leaders set boundaries and respecting their team's boundaries as well is a big one. So many people, I know the open door policy sounds great in theory, but really what ends up happening is you become, somebody who's just listening to all the whining and the venting and the complaining, and you're not getting anything done. And now as a leader, instead of being able to move the organization forward, you're stuck listening to all of these conversations about what isn't working. And so changing that mentality and helping leaders set boundaries on their time and becoming coaches where they can help people figure out how to solve their own problems. Because wouldn't that be so nice?
Yeah. And probably like offering spaces that are specifically for them to voice their complaints.
Yeah. And I think too, there is that notion, like that culture of complaining, right? We definitely can get sucked into it, right? Our brains love to hear the negative. And it's so easy to like hop on a call with a colleague or do a Zoom with them, or even just grab lunch, and all of a sudden it's all negative. And it would be, in a perfect world, or even a more enlightened world, where we spend more time talking about what's going well and what we can do versus all of the obstacles and resistance to what we can't do. I think people would feel so much more empowered if they could just change that story. Which I should probably take my own advice.
Good job, coach.
Yes, exactly. Right? We should. we should all definitely do that. And it is changing the story. But, and then also from my fundraising background, fundraising organizations, what they do really well is thank their donors. They have whole departments that are just dedicated to donor stewardship. And most corporate companies or even solopreneurs, small businesses, they don't have anyone who does that. They don't have somebody whose job is to roll out client experience and client stewardship. And what we all should realize is that our current clients are the closest thing we have to our future clients, right? They're a repeat business and they're a great source for referrals. But we spend so much time hustling to get the client. We love them during that prospect phase. And then they become a client. And then we get so busy now paying attention to the next prospect that we don't keep that love going.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that that's the gap for a lot of leaders and teams to just nurture the clients they have, like fundraising organizations do with their donors.
So I guess that's the first place for you to look for your new clients is in your current clients.
Yeah, probably. It's all of the, and again, it's just me needing to I need to believe in myself a little bit more that I can have this conversation with them, even though it's different than events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes up for me is like you said you were feeling a bit daunted about the sales process and pitching it and stuff. And like throw that out the window, that pressure, and you're literally just deepening your relationship with your clients and like getting to know their needs more and how can you fill in those gaps for them.
Yeah. And there are so many gaps that people have right now because we are so, in many cases overextended and things are moving so quickly. But yeah, having the conversation and just trying to, I guess, understand what they want instead of me thinking I know what they want. It's having the conversation to really find out what would make their lives and their team and their clients better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you can say, you can preface it generally with, I'm embarking on a new arm of my business, but I wanted to get your research of like what would be most helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, I know. See, in my head, I'm already coming up with all these like, but what if they say this? It is.
Like what would they say?
Oh, so you're not doing events anymore? I don't want them to think that I'm not doing that part too, right? I guess my challenge is that I want it all. I want both. I know that I have capacity and I have a great team who is excited about events and loves doing that. And I know I can still serve and make a huge impact through doing events. But the inside, like the joy part of me gets so excited at this other part of my business. Like that's where I feel myself lighting up. So I've got my team who's lighting up over events and we still can nurture that. But for me, I'm like completely lighting up on this other area. And I think that the combination of the two is really going to be how I can scale and grow my business.
Okay, so let's practice. You're telling me you're trying out a new arm and then I'm like, what? Like, are you not doing live events anymore?
No, Nancy, I am still doing live events. My team is completely committed to helping you reach your goals when it comes to events and engagement and fundraising. And through my experience in fundraising and event management, I see so many areas that I think I can help other organizations connect with their clients and their team. So I'm trying out this additional roster of services.
How'd that feel?
Barf.
Barf because you didn't like it or because it was scary?
Both. I feel like I
Okay.
need to finesse it a bit more, but yes,
Yeah.
it's scary, but it's
Mhm.
good. I keep telling myself this is how I'm changing the story in my head, is that I like doing scary things,
Totally.
right? If I'm scared, then it must mean I'm like close to something good.
Mhm. Where are
Right?
all the
Because
juices?
yeah, it's like any other time I've done something that scared the crap out of me, it turned out to be a really good decision. So every time somebody says, "Do you want to do this?" and it scares me, I'm sort of saying yes now. And then cringing the whole way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, in your opinion, is that really what I just need to get over, is like my own self-talk? Or do I need to keep practicing it?
Don't practice your self-talk, no.
No.
But you can like practice your pitch for sure and like get it a little bit more streamlined and try and enter in as much of that joy and excitement as you have. Like,
Mm,
I know I've noticed a pattern in you, even just from this short conversation. Like, there's something in you that you're like, you're kind of embarrassed of yourself. Like, you're embarrassed that you're in Canada. You're embarrassed that you're from Ontario. You're embarrassed that you're changing this role in your business. And so, like, what is that? And how can you nurture that part of yourself that feels shame about something or not good
mm.
enough about something, and love that part of you?
Yeah, that's really interesting. And what popped into my head uh, was judgment, right? Worrying about being judged by others. And that's something that I know I keep trying to say I'm like going to get rid of that fear of judgment, and that's why I make jokes or will say like, oh yeah, I'm from Ontario. Um, it's almost like again, the defense mechanism, that army that pops up. So it's like, don't judge me for it. I'm already judging myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like you want to put out this banner. I'm judging myself, so you don't have to. But
Yeah.
then that just like conveys an energy that I don't think you want to be actually conveying.
Hmm. Yeah. That's such a good point. Okay. So how
And
do I get rid of that?
I know, and it's not a matter of just finding the opposite energy,
Hmm.
because then you're still on that same path. So it's
Yeah.
like something totally off that path of this, like, what energy would you like to convey?
Yeah. Like just joy and um, open, like being super open.
Mm.
Right. I love being open to opportunities, right? Even me reaching out to you and just being like going for it.
Mhm.
That's more the place I want to operate from, and less of the, I don't know if I should. That doesn't
Mhm.
seem right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like the right way to do it. Um, yeah, I'd
Yeah,
rather come at a place of just like going for it.
that person that reached out to me like seems really brave and adventurous and inspiring.
Yeah, she had a lot of time to edit that outreach for.
But like,
I'm
what
kidding.
would be
Yeah, no,
possible for
that's true.
you if the energy you put out when you're talking to these business owners was adventurous,
Hmm.
joyful, inspiring?
It would probably help them see the possibilities of what they would be able to achieve as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you like to be surrounded by that kind of energy. And I think I need to harness like what makes me excited, when I'm talking to other people as well, that same sort of energy, and almost harnessing that for myself. Yeah. Yeah, that's really insightful. I like that. And I'm glad you picked up on the judgment piece very easily.
Hmm. Yeah. And like, we project that judgment onto others and think that it's protecting us, but it's not. It's actually to our own detriment. And like, we teach people how to treat us. And so if you go in with, here's my cards, judge me, it's like, no, like, here's my cards. I am full of joy and inspiration and possibility. And I'm here to share that with you. That's a very different pitch.
It's totally different pitch and approach. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Now I have to practice that.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh gosh, right now. Here we go.
You're not doing event planning anymore?
I am still doing events because I know that I love doing events and I love creating an impact in communities and with your donors and your clients, and my team is so skilled at it. And I have been finding so much possibility in helping other companies connect with their clients and their teams. And it brings me so much joy to be able to help people fill that gap, that I really want to explore this. And if there's possibilities of continuing to work with you on this side of my business as well, I value your partnership and would love to see how I can help you there.
What are the gaps that you're seeing in like businesses with clients and team members?
Disconnection. And a lot of people are just feeling so kind of unattached to work now because they've been working remotely or not necessarily having that connection, and they're all leaving their jobs. So I want to help leaders connect with their team, build out the capacity to do that in their schedules, and learn how to coach their team through any problems that they're facing. And then once their teams are happy and really jiving, it's going to filter out into the client experience. And your clients are going to be happier when your team is happier.
Awesome. How did that feel?
It felt better. Definitely easier because I believe in it. I think that's the other piece, right? I believe in what I'm talking about. So when I really get talking about it, I forget being scared because I'm just in the like, I believe in this. I believe that leaders need this. I believe that clients want to feel a part of, they want to feel a part of whatever business they're supporting, right? Clients are investing in businesses and they want to feel that they matter. I feel very strongly about that relationship. So I think that once I get talking about it, it's just coming out.
And one more thing that you can do to adjust it even slightly more is like you're thinking about it, but like let yourself really feel it. And so before you get on a call, like take some deep breaths, center yourself in your body, and really connect with that part of you that wants to be of service.
I like that part about being of service, because really that's where I find so much joy, is helping people not fix their problems because they have to take ownership and accountability over it, but just be a part of the solution. Let them be able to see that there's possibility in not being burnt out, not having to constantly find new team members or hustle for clients, that by just building out that time and connecting with people in a meaningful way, it's like so much ease is going to come to their business. Yeah.
Okay. Take a moment, take a deep breath, put your hand on your chest even, and breathe into that part of you that knows that you can be of service in the world, that you can create an impact for all these people that have been brought into your sphere already, and you can help their work be even more impactful. So you're saying that you don't do live events, or you are doing live events, but you're wanting to niche into helping us in our business more. Like, what could you do to help us?
I can help you by bringing your clients together, virtually or in person, and creating a whole plan for you to connect with them on a regular basis, um, and create meaningful, actual relationships that aren't so transactional. And it's going to help your clients and your team feel connected to one another.
Boom. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
honestly, it feels so good just to, I should, yeah, keep practicing that because it feels so natural.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting for you to listen to the recording and like notice your evolution. And even your voice is different from the last one. Like your voice is more from this like heart-centered place in this one. And you seem calmer and just like sharing what you have to give.
No, I love the power of breathing. I tell you, if everyone just did that every day
Yeah.
in a meaningful way, the world would be a better place.
So besides breathing, what are you taking away today?
I am taking away that I need to change the story in my head about, everything I want to do for others, I can also do for myself. To recognize when I'm projecting judgment, um, and to change that energy from judgment to that heart-centered joy, because really that's where I know I will be most successful from. Yeah.
And in the changing your judgment stories or your stories that you're putting out there, like bring the joy into that too. Like don't bring judgment into your judgments, but
Yeah.
joy.
Don't
and
judge
compassion.
myself for judging myself.
Right. Yeah. That's just going to perpetuate it. So bring the fun into it. Just be like, oh yeah, there I am again judging. Like,
Yeah.
It's
just
been
recognizing it.
Yeah, like the big thing for me lately has been letting go of right and wrong, good and bad, like success and failure. It just is. And so the more that we can let things just be and like name them as they are rather than judge them, it's powerful.
Yeah. Being able to just recognize it, I think, is a good like first step, right? When you see it happening. Yeah. That's super helpful.
Amazing.
Well, thank you, Nancy. I really appreciate the even though I was uncomfortable, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's
brave.
gotta be uncomfortable to have change.
Totally. You were inspiring. I'm sure that anyone listening is like inspired and can hear themselves in your story because we all feel these things. And thank you for being brave enough to share them out loud with us so we can all learn and grow.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Coming Out Chronicles. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. And if you think it would be helpful for someone else, please share it with them. If you'd like to connect with me, reach out on social. I'd love to support you on the next chapter of your coming out story. Until next time, this is Nancy Shadlock from Centered Life Coaching.